Well, it is done. It is done. Miss Andrea came up today and we thawed out some of that sperm and we had 52% motility, which means more than 50% of those sperm after 28 years is still alive. We had so many straws. You want to get at least 100 million in them in a frozen semen breeding. We had to use about 8 straws to do that. We got 115 million with just 8 straws. Now I have a total of 18, and I'm wondering if I can't just send that other half back. Janie Klatt, you need to tell me this. And save it, because I got 52% motility. Now, in 2022, his motility was checked and it was 50%, which is really good after 28 years. And I had more motility, 52%. So 115 million sperm, 52% motility. I should have a full litter. I should have a full litter. I should have 8, 9 puppies in there already. So I am pretty excited about that. An improvement in motility, 2% more, that could be 2 more potential puppies. So in most frozen semen breedings, they tend to be small because the frozen semen does have motility, but only for a few hours. It's alive for maybe 8 to 12 hours. Some people say 24 hours, but I've had others say as little as 4 hours. So if it's 4 to 12 hours of time in there, my last breeding with Shimako, we only had 53 million sperm. And we had, when we thawed it out, it hadn't fully warmed up yet, but it was like at 45% motility. And it was gonna, no, boo-boo, knock it off. I'm trying to get him to fucking calm down because Phoebe's so in heat. She was just bred. And so he is losing his mind, of course. And I've just given him some CBD and some trazodone, trying to calm him down because I don't want to board him. He is very clingy when I board him, and they tell me that he's fine, but he doesn't look like he's fine when I go to leave him. He doesn't look like he wants to be left. So I am trying to avoid boarding him by just keeping him somewhat sedated. So y'all, I am super excited. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do, whether I'm just going to ship this semen back to them and save it for another breeding, because there's another 9, which is another 115 or so, and it's 52% motility. So yeah, I'm pondering this right now. I don't really need to put the rest of that in there because 115 million, 50%. That's 60 million sperm in there right now. And they've got 4 to 12 hours to nail her, and she is primed and ready. Her numbers are right exactly where they're supposed to be. So, interesting. Well, I'm super excited because I do believe that this is happening. I believe I'm going to get a full litter out of this, and this will be Phoebe's last litter. She'll be retired. And if I can save that semen, then I can use it for another female down the road, and it would be awesome if we could get another. If this one turns out good, we could get another litter out of that. It would be fucking spectacular if I could get 8 now and then get another 8, get 16 of these potentials. It would be freaking awesome. So I think the universe has that in play for us here. I think it's going to make this happen because this is a very honorable intent, and it's a very pragmatic attempt to break free from this gene pool of dogs that's just been reused over and over. The pedigrees, you go back and it's just the same dogs over and over and over. And this guy hasn't been around for 28 years. And his lines haven't been around for 28 years. The dogs that he was bred to, they stopped breeding to those dogs. Why? Because the type didn't look like Shimako. Well, they have to look like Shimako now to win in the show ring. So Phoenix and Phoebe's litter is not going to make show quality puppies. They're going to be wonderful Dobermans and hopefully live to be 12 or more. But they're not going to be show quality. So do you care that I'm not breeding show quality dogs? Do you guys care? Like all of my followers, just like give me your 2 cents here. Does anybody in this following that I have care whether or not I am breeding for show dogs? Because I don't think you do. I think in my experience of 15 years is that 90% of the people that are out there just want a Doberman. They just want a healthy dog. And they just would like to think maybe it will live 10, 11, 12 years. You know, one of my followers had a dog live to be 18. Dude, I'm so fucking jealous of you. That makes me sick, how jealous I am of you. To have a dog live to be 18? That's crazy. And Alan Strauss, he had one that lived to be 14. That's been 25 years. So that's the lineage that I'm pulling up from 25 years ago, 30 years ago. I'm pulling in pedigrees from 30 years ago. Dogs were living 10 to 14 years, 40 years ago, 50 years ago when I was a kid. When I was 17, the life expectancy of the Doberman was 10 to 14 years. Today, it's 7 to 10 years, with the average being 9.1. And why do you think that's happened? Because the choices in the gene pool have been diminished down to just a precious few. And you cannot keep line breeding back and back and back and back and back and back indefinitely and not create major, major issues with your breed. And that's what's happened. And so I want to reverse that trend. That's my hope. Still haven't called Marge Brooks, but I might call her today, try to find her today. Somebody sent me her information. So for those of you rooting for me, thank you for rooting for me. Thank you for being in my corner. Give me your feedback and your comments in this thread. And if Janie Klatt is watching, Janie, should I ship this back to Zodus and just store it? Because I got 9 more in there. Got another 100 million. Let me know.